You're watching the #1 adventure show, Hooked on Utah, powered by Ford. Welcome to Hooked on Utah. Well, as you can see, I've got Karen Miller Colman, I got Jack Colman, Doug Miller's grandson and daughter. We're here at Bear Lake. It's freezing cold, and it's the annual Cisco Disco, Karen.
It is.
What an awesome time. Your dad loved this event.
He loved it. He looked forward to it all year. We talk about all the good friends out here dancing, catching some fish. It's a good day.
Hopefully today's gonna be a good day. We know there'll be some good food. Weather's not in our favor, but we're doing everything we can to throw our voodoo magic into the water and bring the Cisco in so Jack can start netting them and we can start eating them. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action.
And disco.
Oh yeah, and the disco.
The famous Bonneville Cisco, found only at Bear Lake, the only place on the planet that you can get this fish. Here we go. Good stuff.
Tell me about the Cisco. Where does this little bad boy, you know, it's the only, you can only find this in Bear Lake.
Only found in Bear Lake. It's an endemic fish. And what's really unique about it is they're endemic, and most people, when they hear about endemic fish, they usually think about threatened or endangered. These are actually a sport fish. They're not threatened or endangered. We have about 4 to 5 million of them out in the lake at this point. That's what our estimates are telling us, and they come into shore to spawn along the rocky shorelines in January, and it's about the only time of the year that people see Cisco. And so anyways, they're out there the rest of the year, and they're basically a forage fish for the cutthroat trout and lake trout in the lake. And the whitefish eat a fair amount of these too. And all the fish in the lake take advantage of this eggs that they lay along the shoreline. There's just millions and millions of eggs.
So right now, the Cisco Disco is actually the spawn. They're coming in and spawning. Absolutely. And that's what's bringing them in. And so we have an opportunity to dip net them.
Right.
Where did the Cisco come from?
Well, that's a good question. They've evolved in the lake. They've been in here, we think about at least 200,000 years. That's longer than just about any lake. There have also been some Cisco skeletons found in some caves, some Cisco bones found in caves along the Great Salt Lake. So when that was part of Lake Bonneville, there were Cisco in there too. But it's the only spot we know that this particular Bonneville Cisco exists.
So back in the day, they were doing the Cisco Disco in the cave, cooking them over an open fire. That's it right there, the Cisco Disco.
Holy Hannah, look at him.
This is the best I've ever seen it.
The scene under the ice is no less amazing. DWR biologists estimate that there are about 9 million Cisco in the lake this year, but even they say that number could be give or take a couple of million. The spawning run began this year on January 15th as hundreds of thousands of the little fish moved into the shallow rocky shoreline of Bear Lake to lay their eggs. Most of these fish are about 7 inches long, and they are colored up for the spawn.
This is a male Cisco. You can tell the males because they have this real pretty yellow on the sides. They're also rough back here, that's called spawning tubercles, which help them actually spawn with the females.
The limit on Cisco has changed over the years. Some of the old-timers report hauling them away from Cisco Beach in barrels by the wagon load, say 50 or 60 years ago. Today, the limit is 30 fish, and the DWR reminds anglers that 30 is the daily limit. That's all you can take until they're used as bait or consumed. 30 fish is the limit.
Fishy, fishy, fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. It works.
Hooked on Utah is proudly presented by Mountain America Credit Union, your home, your business, your life. Goal Zero, renewable electric power anywhere. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. The Kengar Ford store in American Fork, 800 by Ford. Routing firearms and outdoor gear the best there is. Kershaw Knife Technology, made in America. Catch the big ones, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits.
Choosing the right financial partner is a very important decision. I've been with Mountain America for the last 29 years. They know me, they understand my needs, and I trust Mountain America. Mountain America, for your home, your business, your life. I'm here with Big Bill Snape from the American Fork Ford dealership. You know, Bill, you guys have got some great deals right now out at the dealership. People are looking for a new vehicle, they need to come see you.
Absolutely. Got the best deals we've had in a long time. Big rebates, good inventory, good selection, huge discounts.
The lot is big, the discounts are huge, and the savings amazing. Come see Big Bill Snape, Ken Garf, American Fork Ford.
Ahead, as low as 2.74% APR. Only at Mountain America. Apply for your 2.74 auto loan today at your nearest Mountain America branch or online at macu.com.
If you want to get geared up for this week's adventure, then stop into your conveniently located Sportsman's Warehouse. Dip netting for Cisco requires a long handle with one of these nice wire nets. Sportsman's has them. It'll help you be successful. Reach out, scoop, that's what it takes. Nothing makes a Cisco disco go down better than some hot fries, scones, and deep frying your Cisco. You know, Lodge makes a great product. Big old fat pan like this for the scones works excellent. Staying warm when you're fishing for the Cisco is a must. Neoprene waders on my list. Make sure you stay warm, you stay dry. Get them right here at Sportsman's Warehouse. All you need for Cisco is just a small lightweight rod, small reel, light line, makes holding it over the hole very, very easy, or casting just from shore, bringing that Castmaster in to scoop up those Cisco. This is what'll work for you. Staying warm is an absolute must. Get in here to Sportsman's Warehouse. The red tag sale is happening right now. Some of the warm weather gear you want is marked up to 50% off. Get in here, gear up, Sportsman's Warehouse. All of the locals are sitting on the beach right now wondering why we are out here.
It's a lot funner when there's ice on the lake because the fish can't see it, but if you're gonna catch fish, you gotta crouch down and look like a rock, or if you go out by the weeds, they're more likely to come in than if they see you standing there.
That should tell you something. None of them are out here while we are out here. They keep telling us, be a tree, be a tree. They're making fun of us.
You know what? I did not ever Cisco with my dad. I knew how much he loved it. He looked forward to the Cisco Disco every year. But I never got to come out with him, so I'm really happy to be out here doing something that I know he loves so much.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Doug Miller, and welcome back here on Cisco Beach. This beach and the shallow water and these broken rocks have been famous for centuries. The Native Americans used to tell the mountain men that explored here about the clouds of fish that would swim into these waters and spawn here on these rocks every January. And after all those years, the run of the little Cisco remains one of nature's most amazing spectacles.
Mid-January and Bear Lake remains wide open. No ice in the marina, no ice on the big lake. But Jim Stone was slowly picking his way through a dense fog that had settled in. From the overlook at the top of Logan Canyon, the fog bank is an impressive sight. This time-lapse video shows the waves that undulate through the dense blanket that is settled in with a high pressure. On the water, an armada of boats looms out of the fog as we approach the rock pile near the southeast shoreline of the lake. It was the first day of the Cisco run, and guide Jim Stone had us rigged to jig the structure on the bottom of the lake for spawning Cisco.
Sometimes when they're in real thick, you can just hold your rod out there, and you just tighten up your line, and you can just watch your rod tip. And there's so many swimming down there, you can just see a little vibration, about like that, in your rod tip. And then you just come up, and you know you're right in the middle of the school, and you can get them really good that way too.
We were catching Cisco right and left, but these two cuties were out fishing us all.
My daddy told me to put it up, down, up, down, up, down.
And what's it like when the fish comes?
They either fight a lot or they don't fight at all.
The fishing was fast, but it's hard to imagine fish down there so thick that they bump into your line until you look down there. 37 feet below the surface of Bear Lake, this is the scene on the rock pile. Clouds of Cisco swarm across the rocks that cover the bottom.
It holds a lot of little crevices in these rocks, and the eggs, when they're laid, can fall once they're fertilized into these crevices, and they can lay in there. They probably will survive very well because they're not going to be able to get readily eaten by other fish that are down there.
And there are lots of big predators down there. You can see several big whitefish vacuuming eggs off the rocks. Brandon hooked into this big whitefish. Several Big Macs were landed that day on the rock pile, and it's the time of year when you never know what's going to be at the end of your line. One reminder, it's legal to keep snagged Cisco at Bear Lake, but if you foul hook a cutthroat or whitefish or Mac, it must be immediately released.
We got about 10 days on Cisco Beach. They're just coming in. We started catching them yesterday. Should be red hot for about a week, 10 days. Rock pile's going to be good after that, and then you're going to have the dynamite fishing of the year.
Look at these two fishing buddies right here, Cammy and Aaron Tolentino, and they've outfished everybody on the Cisco pond today, had you? A couple of big anglers.
Okay, the fishy song? Yeah. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
It works.
That's pretty much all you do.
That's how you catch the Cisco. Yeah, they're not singing the song.
It lures them in. Mesmerizes them. He's had such a fun day. It's been really fun. He's been really looking forward to this. I mean, what kid doesn't want to go just stand out in the water, have the waves push you around a little bit, just standing out in the water waiting for a fish, see if you get to catch it. Hopefully we get one. But if not, we've had scones, fish, French fries. It's 8:30 in the morning.
You got some Cisco here that you went out and caught yesterday.
Yes.
Did a little pre-run, little pre-fish for the crew.
Sure.
You clean them. Walk us through what you do to your famous recipe, the Tolentino recipe.
I don't know if it's famous, but anyways, might be now. What we have is we just take the fish, easy to clean them, snip their head off with a pair of scissors, open them up with a pair of scissors. They have very few innards in them. So then we just kind of run a butter knife up each side to take off the majority of the scales. You don't have to get them all. And then we just rinse them off. And then after that, we bring them over here. We have a mixture of pancake mix, flour, and cornmeal with a little bit of seasoned salt in it and pepper. And then just drop the wet fish in, shake them up, put them in the oil, about 3 to 4 minutes, and this is what we end up with.
I have never in my life had a Cisco, so I'm going to try one for the first time.
I'll
yeah, let's pick out one that doesn't look too unfriendly. There it is, right there. Look at that. That yesterday was bait. Today, it's breakfast. All right.
Hot, but good.
That's really good. Scott Tolentino, the Cisco Mafia right here. The man can cook it up. We're about ready to disco too. We're gonna head out with the nets.
We got the people, and it's not too cold, so we don't see anybody jumping around starting a disco, but we gotta get somebody going here.
There's a whole crew behind you can't see. They've been feeding their faces, and they are ready to rock and roll. A lot of them, I think, are gonna do their version of the polar plunge over here, right? There's clothes coming off right now.
A handful of hardy Cisco dippers gathered, hoping for a shot at the first of the annual spawning run of the little fish.
Conditions are blizzardy, a lot of big waves coming in. Cisco, it's hard to catch them. They won't come close enough to the bank because they know they're going to get washed up on the shore.
For 83-year-old Cliff Wilson, this marked over half a century of standing here on this beach and dipping the little Cisco.
This is harder to get them now than it used to be. We used to make it fast and get it. They didn't have no limit on it at all.
This bucket of Cisco was the only fish we saw dip that day, and they came from here, the mouth of the State Park Marina on the leeward side of the lake. For the most part, they came here for the Cisco Disco, a celebration on this lake that has grown up around the little fish found nowhere else on the planet. It all started a couple of decades ago with a Cisco fish fry on the back of a tailgate right there on Cisco Beach.
Pretty soon somebody would wander along and they'd say, God, those look pretty good. So we'd try, and they'd say, come on, have one, and it just sort of mushroomed from there.
Hope you enjoyed the big celebration here on Cisco Beach. And Bryce Nielsen started all of this, what, 20 years ago? The Cisco Disco.
The Cisco Disco, yeah.
The disco is the dance step. You're trying to stay warm out here?
Yeah, you just look at it. We're trying to stay warm.
No doubt of it today.
No doubt of it.
Show me the dance steps now.
Well, you know, you're allowed to do a little bit of individuality. So I like to do this. Maybe a little bit of the paw, maybe a little bit of the fish.
This is tradition, the Cisco Disco. Every year, this is what we do.
Every year, I would watch a little embarrassed as my dad stood here with a bunch of people and did jumping jacks. But what we gotta do is disco. We gotta do whatever we can to have fun and keep warm.
All right. You guys join in. Hope you enjoyed the show for tonight. Hope you'll join us again next Saturday night for more. Come on, where's the disco?
Cisco Disco.
Stories and adventure of people that love wild places and wild things.
Come on! The disco. Oh yeah. They got the disco going. I like it.
Come on, let's try to move. We got some guys back here.
Ashley, come on, join in here. Oh man, I think it comes from eating Cisco.
I think so.
It's always a great time.
He's been coming up here for 40 years. He was on every year on Doug Miller, every year on Doug Miller with Outdoors right here.
He
donates the French fries right here.
Cisco.
Don't get behind me, fellas. You're making me nervous. I don't want to go in. You know, I want to introduce you to the Nomad 7 made by Goal Zero. This is your gateway to going green. It's one of the coolest products ever. You can use it anywhere.
The Goal Zero Nomad 7 equals 7 watts of portable solar power. When you order your Nomad 7 today, you will receive the Guide 10 battery pack, providing reserve power for hundreds of uses. The Guide 10 charges AA and AAA rechargeable batteries.
You guys need to jump online right now, goalzero.com, and get your Nomad 7 with the Guide 10 charging pack. If you love hunting and fishing as much as I do, and you're sitting back there thinking, how can I own a piece of Utah? I want you to go to utahsportsmanproperties.com. We're right here at the base of the Uinta Mountains. We've got ice cold springs running into these beautiful ponds. They're loaded with steelhead, German brown trout, smallmouth bass. The rich heritage from the Spanish gold mines to the Uinta Mountains right here. This is your dream piece of property. utahsportsmanproperties.com. Check it out.
Man, these are beautiful.
Check it.
Oh, come on!
Need a better battery? Get an Interstate battery. Outrageously dependable.
Should have had an Interstate.
It's time for the Hooked on Utah bragging board, where we show some of the best pictures and video clips that you've sent in. Lacey Butterfield and her family love to ice fish. And as you can see, they travel in style anytime they head out on the ice for a day of fun. Adam Stewart of Utah harvested this massive whitetail while hunting in Nebraska this past fall. Take a look at the mass and the 10-inch brow tines on this big old buck. Nice job, Adam. Tyson Hildebrand caught this monster brown trout while ice fishing a couple of weeks ago. I can't imagine trying to pull that big old brown through a small ice hole. Tyson, that's the fish of a lifetime. Zach Flinders managed to catch this 22¼ inch cutthroat while fishing with his dad at Schofield on a recent trip. Zach's father, Jason, was very proud of Zach, and I would say maybe even a little jealous. Daxton Nearing absolutely loves being out with his father and hunting. His father, Adam, took a nice 3-point this past fall, and that was all Daxton needed to fuel his fire and passion for hunting. Congratulations, Daxton. You're this week's Bragging Board winner. You've just won a prize from one of our sponsors. On this adventure, we stayed right here at the Harbor Village, Bear Lake Lodging. The resort is fantastic. Year-round, you can stay here if you're going to go snowmobiling, if you're coming to the Cisco Disco, summer events, they've got it all. The amenities are phenomenal. Get a hold of them at bearlakelodging.com. Book your room and come stay. You'll love it. Absolutely beautiful facilities.
Yeah, stupidly enough, they convinced me to do it, so we're doing this.
This is actually a little warmer. Last year we had to move the ice off and weigh, and so this is pretty good this year.
All the proceeds go to Primary Children's Medical Center. I don't think there's anybody that hasn't been affected some way by Primary Children's Medical Center with family or somehow. And so I just thought it was a good cause to give the donations to them.
Nice.
Jump in. I mean, some of the kids might go into their waist, but most people will dive right on in or just jump in, cannonball it.
No, not a wetsuit, just underwear.
Totally ready for this. I've been preparing my whole life for this.
I think he hits the water, squeals like a girl, and comes shooting out like a missile.
I feel like Gary.
Listen to that voice. Gary. I can't even go that low. And after he hits the water, we're going to have him say my name again.
It'll probably go deeper.
It's going to be, Gary! Don't get behind me, fellas. You're making me nervous. I don't want to go in. And I don't have the courage to do it. These guys are jumping into 36-degree water. Oh!
This is nothing.
I wasn't wasting any time. We felt the water. That was good enough for us.
That was colder than I could have even imagined.
Sucks the air out of you.
Right out of you. And you're underwater thinking, holy smokes, why did I do that? You know what? Now we've done it.
Dude, that was awesome. How you feeling? Huh? Cold? When you came out of the water, you kind of, you barked out like a seal. I heard, was it cold? Tell me what it felt like when you hit the water.
I didn't feel anything.
Just ice
as
cold.
As soon as I got out, I felt something.
It was awesome, dude. You're the man. Give me stones, dude. You're okay? Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's adventure. Unique, fun, freezing cold. Sorry to let you down. I didn't have the courage to jump in the water. When they said 36 degrees, I chickened out. A lot of brave people who weathered it and dove in, and as you saw from the expressions on their face, that was like getting slapped with a wood paddle on the tushy. You know what? Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week, same time, same channel, whole new adventure, and remember, stay hooked on Utah, my friends.